Good morning. This is Bev in Bev's Midday Cafe, but I'm on my YouTube channel. And I want to, today I'm going to do some roasted red skin potatoes and sweet potatoes. And I'm also going to do a medley of roasted vegetables. I'm sipping on some green tea with a slice of lemon to give me that boost of energy that I need and antioxidants that I need for the rest of the day. This is delicious. Just a simple organic green tea with a slice of lemon in it. It's delicious. So I'm going to set that over there. I have here my red skin potatoes that have been washed, and I have my large sweet potato here. So I only need one large sweet potato and a few red skin potatoes because it's just me and Dr. Woodard right now. I don't have any other guests in my house. So I'm trying to downscale in what I'm cooking. But, usually when I have extra, I take it to my daughter, Jasmine, and her husband. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have a bowl of water here. I'm going to create a Himalayan salt bath so that when I cut up cut up my sweet potatoes, they don't begin the oxidation and they don't start browning. So I'm adding a little salt water. I'm adding a little salt to this water. I'm stirring it around with my fingers. And then I'm going to peel my sweet potato. I gotta find me a knife that I like to peel with. Okay, so here's my paring knife, and I'm just gonna, I could use a peeler, but I don't know. I had a peeler that my husband bought me a long time ago. He since has tried to replace it, but I just can never find the right one. And I think because I'm left-handed, the traditional peelers don't work for me. So I'm going to peel this sweet potato. And right after I peel it, I'm going to dip it in this salt water just a little bit. And then I'm going to cut it up into small chunks so that we can prepare them for roasting. So, and I am a southpaw, and I know you're looking at me like, she gonna cut herself. Well, by the grace of God, I've not cut myself too many times. I mean, I could probably count on one hand the number of times I've cut myself in the kitchen, and that's nothing but the grace of God. So, let me get rid of these. Alright, I'm going to dip this potato in some of this salt water before it starts the oxidation process where it starts to brown, because I don't want it to be brown. I'm also going to add, I got a little half lemon, I'm going to add some lemon to that water, and that too will keep it from browning. So I just squeeze a little lemon cap in there, and I left the lemon cap in there. Okay, so here's my beautiful potato here, and I start, sweet potatoes are very hard to cut. I probably should switch knives now that I'm not peeling. Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. Okay, so I just cut them in little medallions or discs, and then I cut them this way. I just chunk them. You make the chunks as large or as small as you want. But I chunk them, chop them up real good. Not real good, chunk them really. Okay, here's another medallion. There we go. And they don't have to be perfect, they just have to be chunked. As you can see, I'm just chopping. It's no form or fashion to it. Just chop it up in chunks. So here's my chunks. These are my sweet potatoes. I'm going to put them back in this bath of lemon and salt water so that the oxidation doesn't begin and they start browning. Now, we don't have that same problem with red skin potatoes. Now, my red skin potatoes, I'm going to leave the skin on. They've already been washed, and so I'm just going to cut them up, chunk them just like I did the sweet potatoes. And you know, every now and then you get a little piece that you don't want. Like so, like that. I decided to do this because I made some baked sweet potatoes for me and Dr. Woodard yesterday evening, and then I also made a savory potato soup on my menu for Bev's Midday Cafe. So I had some potatoes left over from my bag, and so I said I will roast these, and that is a staple on my menu when I'm doing dinners. One of the favorite sides that people love are my roasted sweet potatoes and red skin potatoes. And it's so simple, but so delicious. So I'm going to share that with you today. I'm trying to see how many potatoes I got here. I think I'm going to do this one last large one. And then that'll be plenty for me and Dr. Woodard. He will be thrilled. He's going to really be thrilled because I'm roasting some vegetables that he also loves as well. Okay, these are perfect. So I'm going to put these over here in this bowl. I don't like that piece. Okay. So here, I've got them in the salt and lemon bath. I got the lemon in here. That's going to keep them bright and pretty and keep them from the oxidation process where they start turning brown. So I'm just going to rinse them in there now. And then I'm going to take the lemon out and pour this water off. Give it a quick rinse. Pour it out. Okay. Now, get rid of all this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I want to spin these potatoes because I don't want any added water when I get ready to roast them. So I'm going to spin them in my salad spinner. You can spin any vegetable that you're trying to remove water from, or if you want to get all of the water off. So I'm going to dump them in here, put this lid on, and spin them. Make sure all the excess water is gone. Button here where I slow it down. Do this. Okay, and so look, there actually was more water on these vegetables, but I got it off, and I'm going to put it back in this bowl. Put them back in here. They're still bright and pretty. Okay, so now to this I'm going to add olive oil. We have to coat it with an olive oil. Be generous with it. Olive oil. I'm going to also add some black pepper. Black pepper. I'm going to add some dried basil. I'm going to add some ground cinnamon. And because I didn't have any nutmeg, I'm just going to add a little bit of allspice. It creates a wonderful sweetness. And I also have here some dried parsley. I'm going to add a little bit of Himalayan salt. All right, and then I'm going to stir that around. Stir it around. Start to get that coated. Like so, like that. It smells wonderful. You smell the cinnamon and you smell the allspice. But what's really going to make it pop is garlic. Yes. Nothing like fresh garlic. Now, I talked about this before. I don't know if I did it on this platform. But if you want to take a full clove of garlic and you want to just peel them and separate them, put them in a jar, just like this, and shake them up. And the friction of the shaking up not only breaks them up, but if you shake it long enough, it will peel each toe of garlic. So I don't have time to continue on, but I want to show you here. I'm going to pour them in this bowl. You see how it's broken up? It's broken up, and I even have one toe peeled already. And if I kept shaking, I would have all the toes peeled and broken up. So you stick a whole clove in the jar, and you just shake it, and it peels them very nicely. So I've got one toe that's peeled, and I got another toe that I'm going to have to finish working on. And that's fine. So this one's peeled right here. And I've got two others here. Well, that one just about was already done. There we go. So it works, but you have to shake it for a little longer than I did. But I don't want to waste time doing that on this presentation. Okay, so I'm cutting off the little tips of the garlic. I don't want. Okay, this is what's going to make. So I have my Pampered Chef garlic crusher. I'm going to drop a toe in there, squeeze it through, drop another toe in there, squeeze it through, drop the other two little toes in there and squeeze it through. Scrape off the rest, and I'm going to massage and put that garlic. Oh, it smells so good. As soon as you put that garlic in there, it smells wonderful. I already have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. And so now that I've made this wonderful smelling mixture, I'm going to let the oven do its work. So I have here my cookie sheet that's already lined with parchment. Right here. I'm going to put the potatoes on this side, because on this side I'm going to put the vegetables that we're about to do. But I'm going to go ahead and put the potatoes in and let them begin. And then we'll start preparing the vegetables. So I just pour them on there. And make sure you do a single layer. They should not be stacked on top of each other. But you spread them out evenly in a single layer. They look beautiful. And I know that's the same way they are going to taste. Okay. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the potatoes, the red skin potatoes and sweet potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven so they can begin roasting. Close that up. Bring this back around. And now we're going to start on our vegetables. Okay. We wipe this down. Okay. All right, so I have here my vegetables. I have Brussels sprouts, a little bit of broccoli, and I also have some mini sweet peppers. I have a red one, a yellow one, and an orange one. And so we're going to make up a mixture pretty similar to what we just did with the potatoes. And I'm going to take my Brussels sprouts and I'm just going to cut them in half. I like to kind of cut them in half. I have washed them and peeled them, but I like to cut them in half. So these are looking good. Sometimes when you cut them, they don't look so hot on the inside. So these Brussels sprouts I had left over from a kale Brussels salad that I make. That's absolutely delicious. And if any of you have ever gone to Cracker Barrel, they have this salad, which is why it inspired me to make it myself. And so okay, I think I'm gonna keep these and let these go. So most times when I go to a restaurant and I really like what they're serving, I will just keep tasting it to figure out what all is in it. And so that's kind of what I did. So I have these sweet peppers here that I'm going to seed. And I'm going to add to this mixture. They've already been washed. Okay, I still get a little bit off of that. So the same way with this pepper. I'm going to seed it. If I don't get all of them, it's okay. These aren't hot peppers. These are sweet peppers. And they smell wonderful. They taste wonderful. These are excellent on a salad. On a rainbow salad. Tricolor peppers. Any tricolor pepper. But these are the mini sweet ones. Okay, and then I have my broccoli here. I think I'll just split those one more time, a piece. The little trees, and be done with it. Okay. All right, so I have there Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and mini sweet peppers. To that, I'm going to add this fresh basil, my last little swig of fresh basil from my grandson's garden, his little garden box. He has plenty of basil still, but I take a few branches at a time and I use for different things like tea or mango salsa or something like that. So I'm going to chop these few sprigs of fresh basil in here. It already smells wonderful. To that, I'm going to add olive oil. To that, I'm going to add a couple of toes of garlic. A few toes of garlic. I have to get my garlic crusher back over here. Okay, this one was peeled. See, I'm telling you, you put that in that mason jar and shake them up, it peels them. And it's a wonderful thing. And what I do is once they're peeled, I take all of the skin away and I put them right back in the same jar I shook them up in and keep it in the refrigerator. Every time I need a toe of garlic, I just go in there and get it. Okay, so this is 3 small toes of garlic. I love garlic. It's not much vegetables here, but I love garlic. Okay, so I've got garlic, fresh basil, olive oil. I'm going to add some black pepper. And then I have this roasted garlic, rosemary, sea salt. I'm going to add a little bit of that. Wonderful. And maybe just a pinch of Himalayan salt, because there's salt in that other. All right, and now we're going to stir it up. Massage all that in there. Now, I literally could just sit up here and eat this raw while it has all the enzymes, because as soon as I heat it up, all the enzymes will be gone. But that's why me and my husband, we try to eat one huge salad every day raw. During these COVID times, we need more raw food. 80% of our diet really should be raw, because the enzymes are in the food before you cook it. Once you heat it up past 102, 104 degrees, you have killed all the enzymes. And the enzymes are what we need to help our body to normally function the way God intended for it to function. And which helps us to fight disease. Okay, now these potatoes, I smell them. They smell heavenly. They have already begun just roasting wonderfully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these potatoes back out for a second. I'm going to add these vegetables to the other side of my baking sheet. Oh, and they're sizzling too. Man, they smell wonderful. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add these vegetables to the other side on this other piece of parchment. And once again, you're going to create a thin layer. And they're so beautiful. I should have added maybe some lemon zest, but maybe I'll add some lemon zest and Parmesan cheese on top once they've all been roasted. So do you see those? There's the vegetables. So we got the vegetables and we got the red skin potatoes and the sweet potatoes. I'm going to put these back in the oven and let them continue to roast. All right, once those are done, I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and it smells heavenly in this kitchen right now. So I'm going to pull these vegetables and these potatoes out. Oh, and look at them. They're just beginning to brown a little bit, which for me is perfect. I don't want them to get too crispy, but I want them to definitely be roasted. So I'm going to turn that oven off. I'm going to spin my little table around here. Here we go. Pull it back just a little bit. I took my favorite plate that I usually have sitting back here. I love plating up my food on here. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plate up some of these vegetables and some of these potatoes. And boy, they look delicious. I'm just going to toss them around. You can see how they have browned on the bottom. And they are just perfect. My husband is going to enjoy these when he gets home this evening. Maybe he'll get to eat it before Bible study. He does Bible study virtually. New Salem, discovernewsalem.com. He does Bible study virtually at 7 o'clock p.m. And sometimes he'll get a chance to eat and sometimes he won't. But I just want to plate up a few of these on this plate right here. Isn't that beautiful? And then I'm going to grab just a little bit of these vegetables because I only had a few vegetables. I'm probably going to end up taking some of these potatoes to my daughter and her husband. They love the red skin roasted potatoes, and I'm sure my grandbaby Labby would love them too. But these vegetables, oh, they are gorgeous, and they look They smell heavenly. So I'm going to put just a few of these over here because I don't want to take them from the hubby. All right, so I'm going to leave him those. That over there. And you can see those are beautiful. And what I'm going to do is what I said I was going to do. I'm going to sprinkle a little Parmesan. You really don't have to sprinkle nothing on these. These are delicious. But I'm going to sprinkle a little Parmesan on there. And I'm also going to do a little bit of lemon zest. I have my little frozen bag of lemon caps. When I juice my lemons, I keep the caps, put them in the bag, put them in the freezer. And when I need to zest, frozen lemon caps zest better than just a plain lemon. And I always tell you that the zest in your lemon is 10 times more beneficial for your body than the actual juice. Okay, so here we go. Gonna just zest a little lemon over top of that. Oh, wonderful. All right, and now it's time to taste. Time for Beverly to taste her own food. Lord, we thank you for this food. In the name of Jesus, amen. All right, let's start with one of these toasted Brussels sprouts or roasted Brussels sprouts. Y'all. Mmm. Mmm. Little broccoli. Little pepper. Very good. Now let's try these potatoes. I got me a sweet potato and a red skin potato. I have to be careful because it's very hot. Mmm. Still very hot. You see that? You see that smoke coming off them? Mmm. But delicious. Mmm. Mm-mm-mm. So, what I'm probably going to do is make a balsamic reduction sauce to drizzle over those vegetables as well. Not necessarily the potatoes, but those roasted vegetables, they already are delicious. But a balsamic reduction. So what you do is you take a cup of balsamic, put it on the stove, let it simmer down to a half a cup, and there's your reduction. It gets thicker, and you can add some seasonings or things too if you want to, but you really don't have to add anything if you get a good balsamic vinegar. And dip your vegetables in there. It is delicious. In fact, I'm just going to get a little balsamic vinegar now without it being reduced. I have one right here, and I'm just gonna put a little bit in this dish right here. I'm going to take this roasted Brussels sprout. Heavenly. Well, I thank you all for joining me for this video. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord has his face turned towards you, and he's giving you peace right now.